Welcome, travelers, to my realm of nightmares. Allow me to be your personal assistant. Come in, take a seat, get comfortable. For when you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.
Hello everybody, Rosco Higgins here. So, the therapist said I should stay with the course of action of jotting down here in my journal, or in my case, telling all you lovely folks about my life. Apparently, I made some big improvements. I'm glad to continue the stories for y'all, but on one condition. Stop leaving your panties on my doorstep. I don't know how y'all got my address, and no, you can't have them back. This case was worked on by accident. I was on vacation, or paid suspension, if that's what you would like to call it. Apparently, HQ wasn't very happy when Deputy Rest in Peace had been devoured by Eleanor. According to them, my tactics are less than desirable. First of all, you asshat, I called for backup. You were the ones that dropped the ball on that one. Second, the perishables that I swept from the labs were a gift. Only saving grace I had from that case was that I was able to convince HQ that Eleanor and her mother could be of some assistance chasing down Vlad. Honestly, this case of wrong place, right time might have prevented my termination from the agency. It was only a few days into my vacation when I heard the circus was coming into town. I haven't been to one since I was a kid. I decided to go indulge for once in my damn life. Get some popcorn and some candy, and check out the trapeze and clowns. What's not to love? Well, you'll find out soon enough. Days recently have been kind of a blur, as I still had vampire venom flowing through me. It's like having a hangover while going through withdrawal at the same time. To be both sick and starving at the same time is terrible. Luckily, it generally wears off by late morning. No, I haven't fed yet. The urge had died off a day or two after the incident. When I first stepped into the big tent, the smell of popcorn and cotton candy punched me in the face like I was in a prize fight with Mike Tyson and I was losing. It was immediately strong, of course. My fat ass went and got some before the show started. Of course, the vendor was a goof-looking clown with blue and white face paint, with the expression of pure happiness across his face. Never made a sound, just mimed everything with smooth gestures. It was a bit unsettling. I took my treats up to the top of the bleachers and waited for the show to begin. The lights cut out, and then BAM! Instant music and clowns racing into the center of the ringleader circle. They danced and played, running around wildly, getting everyone excited for the show. Music rang out like it was an orchestra. The trapeze artist flew across the sky on wires. Then smoke filled the tent, and the lights cut out again. A single spotlight shined out into the center on a chunky man with a coat and top hat. He looked like Danny DeVito from that Big Fish movie. I honestly thought it was him for a second. The show started with a monologue from the ringleader. Apparently, this is a story-based circus. The narrative was that a little boy ran away from home to join the circus. As he was speaking, a group of clowns came in, acting out the story. They had to pick a child from the audience to play the kid. The child that was picked was some scruffy-looking boy resembling Linus from the Peanuts. He couldn't have been more than 9 years old. They introduced the kid through what I assume is interpretive dance. Elegant clowns danced around the kid as the ringleader continued the story. I wasn't paying too much attention to the story. I kept my eyes peeled on the kid. He didn't seem right. He seemed scared. As the clowns danced around him, he would wince and flinch, like he was going to get attacked. If I didn't know any better, I'd say those were signs of distress. Detective instincts kicked in, but before I could leap down for the rescue, a boom of smoke came out of nowhere, and the child vanished. Some fuckery is happening here. I just know it. I'm supposed to be on vacation. I don't have any of my equipment with me besides some knuckle dusters. I take it everywhere. I decided to continue watching the show. I noticed on the bottom row that the clowns secretly took the parents with them, perhaps to find their kid. The trapeze artist moved about fluently and in an almost hypnotizing way. One swayed like a pendulum, while the others, one on each side, twirled around almost in place. It was beautifully done, but I know hypnotism when I see it, and those bastards were doing it on a large scale. The ringmaster's still down below doing his show, narrating things. I'm kinda glad I haven't been paying much attention. I looked over to the crowd and see everyone just foaming at the mouth, and their eyes are glazed over. I beat feet to the back of the bleachers to remain unseen. Something is going on, and to top it off, there's a child missing along with his parents now. Fuck me. Suspension or not, I need to figure this out. I'll stay under the bleachers until the show was over. Everyone seemed to file out of the big top systematically. Nothing like a big crowd after a long event. It was perfectly synced how they would file, almost like a zipper closing. All of them had their children, though. So, they're targeting kids. Fuck. The lights clicked off. It was my chance to move. I moved carefully to the back side of the tent. There was a commotion. A few of the clowns were arguing. It wasn't in English or any other human language. Fuck. Is this going to be killer clowns from outer space type of thing? I used my car key to poke a hole in the tent to get a look. I see a red and yellow faced clown seeming to strip its skin, shredded almost. It took form of that little kid. God damn it! Changelings. These bastards must be integrating with the entire town. Who knows how many kids are taken? That just means there's a nest nearby. I don't have any help on this one. I can't trust anyone, and calling into HQ will only cause more of an uproar, as I am not supposed to be conducting any official business. I am insanely under-equipped, and my little knuckle duster isn't gonna do a damn thing against the nest. I can't do anything without knowing where the nest is anyways. I may as well pull recon and get intel on these chameleon fucks. The clown boy thing took off. Assumption is that he's joining his new family. I might as well do my best to tail him and get intel. Fucking up one is much easier than attempting to die against hundreds. Luck would have it that I still have vamp blood flowing through me, so I can still move fast and have subpar strength. It's a considerable leg up than being normal. I head my way as quietly as possible to the parking lot. Gotta get to my car. If they see me at all, they will know there's a straggler, and I'm not keen on getting caught at this point. I made my way to the bushes just outside the tent, and let's just say my luck ran dry. My car was surrounded by a handful of clowns. Fuck. Well, I guess I'm on foot. They may have my car right now, but they sure as shit ain't getting me. I'll book it to the woods. It's my only shot to GTFO, as you kids would say. As I clear the wood line, I hear a few of them giving chase. They can't catch up, so I'm not worried. But now they know someone knows, so they will most likely have whoever in town is one of them snooping around. My best bet will be to get this over quickly. No time to purchase supplies. I have to break into the hardware store and see what I can come up with. I don't have time to get to the kid. Those bastards are going to have to be on their A game. The clowns are tailing me, but I haven't kept pace. There's no use in hiding. As I break through the other side of the woods, come across a main stretch of road, I can see faces of children peering at me through the windows. Not gonna lie, that spooked me a bit. Who knows how many of the town's kids have been changed? Is that the correct term? Fuck, I can't remember. All I know is at that point in time, I knew that I'd been spotted, and it won't take long for them to know my location. As I ran as fast as Bant Blood would let me, all the way to the hardware store. I waste no time on the door, just smash straight through it. The agency can pay for the damages. I gathered anything flammable and cloth and packing peanuts, some simple supplies for homemade napalm, some fireproof blankets and some propane bottles, piping and ignition, homemade flamethrowers. If any of y'all ever come encounter with some changelings or any other thing, fire is a great way to get rid of it. The amount needed may differ by species. I hear them coming in zounds through the street like a mob. I was definitely no one to guess, but fuck it. That makes it easier to determine who is good and bad, right? The ones chasing me are bad, I hope. I finished getting everything together and strapped myself with as much explosive as possible. Looking back, this wasn't a bright idea. What happened next was straight out of a fucking action movie. I made my way into the street to face the horde. The ringleader led the clan, and everyone paused. Like an old western, the only thing I could think of at that moment was Tombstone, when Doc Holliday says, "I'll be your Huckleberry." As the words left my mouth, it began. I launched several Molotovs to create a perimeter to prevent them from charging in. As the last bottle opened up and ignited, I launched several spike bomb clusters their way. This will dwindle their numbers quite a bit and keep them distracted. I backed up down the street to give some space. I needed to lead them back to the top, get as many of them inside as possible, and torch it, and use the stragglers as a lead to the den. I'm sure that's where I'll find all the children. How can I do it without making it obvious? Breadcrumb it? Breadcrumb it is a term we use when we utilize signals that baddies can follow. For this instance, I use fuel and fire. I can't move too fast or else they'll know I'm leading them. I throw another Molotov and move back. Let them feel like they're gaining ground. I do this little trick utilizing everything I got besides my flamethrower all the way to the big top. As I enter the tent, I move straight towards the back, and I see them all flooding in. As they think they have me surrounded, I slit a hole in the back and pop out while torching it up. I got burned pretty bad, and one of those bastards grabbed a hold of my leg and tried pulling me back in. I wasn't having none of that, so I fed that sumbitch's arm up with fuel and torched it off him. The entire tent went up so damn quick, I honestly thought it would have taken a bit more. All of them were engulfed in flame, and all the while the flame fled into the forest. The tree started lighting, and soon enough the whole forest was engulfed. I noticed a few stragglers running off into the woods. Assuming they had gone to the nest, I gave chase. As I followed, I had no choice but to phone HQ and let them know the shit show that happened. I couldn't contain the fire myself, and I needed to focus on saving the kids. I followed them to a cave entrance. I grabbed a burning stick and used it as a makeshift torch. Even though I have vamp blood running through my veins, their eyesight only works great if there's moonlight. There wasn't any of that shit in the cave. I saw them head deeper, so at this point, I don't need to be quiet. I rushed forward and leapt onto the closest one to me. He put up a fight, kinda. The superhuman subpar strength I had was enough to rip that bastard's head clean off his shoulders. His friend, however, had come out of nowhere and jumped karate kicked me square in the face. That shit hurt. My torch went flying, so it comes down to fisticuffs. Thank God I had Old Glory, and all her shining glory. I picked myself off the ground and moved towards the torch so I could get a better look at this fuck. It was that same clown that gave out the popcorn, only this time uglier. Its face was melting off, and you could see the under portion of what changelings really looked like. It's fucking disgusting. He charged me with the ferocity of a wild animal. I donned Old Glory and rammed it through its sumbitch chest. Even with vamp strength, it takes a lot to punch through someone. I pulled my arm out of the guy like he was a glove and tossed him to the ground. Just as he landed, I hear cries and coughs coming from back of the cave. I rushed back and noticed a room full of cages. I rushed through one by one and opened them. All the kids plus myself were starting to succumb to smoke from the fire. Our best bet is to go to the further depth of the cave and cover up with the fireproof blankets I grabbed. I get all the kids hunkered down as I call HQ, but I can't get a damn signal. This cave is filled with smoke fast, and I'm sure by now the entrance is completely engulfed. One by one, the children start to pass out from lack of oxygen. As the last child drops, I start to get the dizziness and the faded eyesight. Everything begins to lose focus, and I black out. I notice a bright white light as I collapse. When I come to, there are agency vehicles all around, and emergency staff tending to the children. My captain came to me to get my debrief. He handed me my credentials back and told me to get back to work. Fuck that guy. I was supposed to be on vacation. All the children made it out, but who knows how many of those bastards got away. Got the majority, I think, but no one can say for certain. Well, my friends, I do appreciate you guys listening to these stories. You keep your heads up and watch your six. Until next time, ciao.
Tonight's story was written by ChronoPasta. If you enjoyed this, chances are you enjoy the content over on his channel. His links will be in the description. Please check him out as he is a great author, friend, and narrator. Hey, did you know I have merch? Yeah, crazy, right? But I do. And if you like to walk around representing my realm and gaining me new travelers, the links to my merch store, as well as all of my other social medias, will be in the description below. Hey, as always, I'd like to say a special thank you to my lovely Patreons. 242 Reads, Rando Calrissian, Pam, Seraphine the Midnight Bard, Creepy Clown Girl, Mia Amina, Philia Noctis, Hair-Raising Narratives, and Spooky Boo Scary Story Time. If you'd like to join these lovely travelers by the light of my fire, you can do so by becoming a Patreon as well. Remember, the support is always appreciated but never expected. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ding that bell for our future content.
And as always, travelers, once you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.